Hello everyone. Welcome to the next lecture of data analytics in Python. In this lecture, we'll be working with named ranges and named, let's say, columns or cells. I hope you really like the video, and if you like the video, share it with your friends. I will be Dhruv. I will be teaching you this entire lecture. Let's just dive into it. If you can see my screen right now, I have cleaned the entire data set from what we were actually working on in the last two lectures. We are working on this very big data set. But for now, I have to teach you a very simple let's say concept, and I don't need a lot of columns. And that's why, to make sure that you are able to work around with it very easily, you're not getting scared, because that is one thing that I've seen with people who are, let's say, newbies, and I still give them very big data sets even if they're scared, because that's how they will learn in the first place. They will get habitual to the big data sets. For now, let's just see what named ranges are, and then we'll work around with some formulas that I want to teach you, and then how you can use it inside the formulas. I'll explain everything. For now, let's just see what are names. So if you're going to any particular thing in Excel, it will have a name attached to it. So even the cell, let's say it's a B2, column B and row 2 will create B2, right? And this name will be here in our name manager. That is the name box here. And you can, if you click here, you can see other names which are being displayed. But if you're, let's say, going to B3 and clicking enter here, you will be shifted to B3. If I want, let's say, AA100, clicking enter, you can directly go to AA100. This is one function that you can, let's say, have when you are working with name box. But we are not here for that. We are here for that to understand how to actually work with different data sets, right? So when we are actually going here and let's say this is the first cell that I started, let's B1. If I want to change the name of this cell from B1 to something else, I can do that. But let's say if I want to change the name of cell B2 into B1, can I do that? If I'm going to click that, I will directly be shifted to the cell B1. So always remember, when you're actually going to put B1 or any such number, you will be shifted. You cannot write such names. But if you want to change the name to something, it can be, let's say, I want my Excel to know that these are headers. So if I'm going to select these two, you can say I've selected one row and two column, and I want Excel to know that these are headers. So I can just double click there, delete the entire thing, and write headers, click enter, and you can see this is headers now. Now tomorrow, if I really want headers to be there at any particular place, you can see I'm just typing headers here, right? And there's a new function that you have created. So not only you can work with the functions that are already in Excel, but you can also create your own functions like this. Like I've created headers. So whenever I will actually write headers, and I'm not going to write the entire thing because it's right there in front of me, I'll click on tab key. It will write everything for me. And now I'll click enter. You can see the entire let's say range came in front of me. And if you can see, there is a distinguished shade all around the range. This is the cell where actually headers is being implemented, but this is the main cell where headers is the function was being written. Other thing that I want you to know is how to actually calculate mean of a particular column or something, right? So let's say I have to calculate mean. The formula is equal to average, right? And all I have to do is just go all the way to the top using control and arrow keys, go to cell B2, and then using control shift down arrow, I can select everything and click enter. Now you can see the average number of votes that any particular restaurant is getting is 156.9, right? So I can say that, okay, the restaurants which are below this are actually, which are not getting much traction, and the restaurants which are above this are actually the restaurants which are getting good traction, right? But for you to actually make a decision, if you are, let's say, going to sheet 2 and you are going to write the formula, you will be confused with what are the meaning of this entire, let's say, array. If you had the entire data set which I was giving you before this, if you were calculating, let's say, average like this, you cannot understand, from this, let's say, formula in the first place, what is the meaning, right? What is this B2 to B9552 is, right? What is the meaning of this entire range that you have given? For that, we use something known as named ranges. And let's say I'm going to select from B2, and then control shift down arrow, and then I will go to this name manager, and then I'll do, okay, I want the name as votes, right? And now if I want to calculate, let's say, average of votes, what I have to do is just write average and then write votes. And now the same number is there in front of you, but now you know what exactly is happening in your entire data set, right? You need not always use these complex terminologies like this one, right? You can always work around in a very smart way by writing these numbers. Now it's not like that you have to create it for the entire array, and you have to make sure that you are careful with some of the things, right? And I will show you what are those things. So let's say I'm writing all of this, and let's say I want to use the name root for this one, right? And let's say now I want to calculate average. Now I will click write equal to average, and I'm going to, oh, I don't have to select, I have to write root. You can see that there's a number coming in front of me. Now here's a smart thing that is happening. Even though cell B1 is a textual value, your average is still there in front of us, right? And this is one that I want you to notice when we actually do average from, let's say, B1 and enter. The same thing will be there, right? So you need not worry if you are selecting the entire column or only the array from B2 to B down, right? Although when you will go to the older versions of Excel, this problem will occur. So it's always advised to always select the the array which will be used for calculating something, and then give it some name instead of giving name to the entire column. It might create some problems for you, which you might not want to deal with. You can do the same with other options also. Let's say I want to use, let's just think how this will work. Let's say I want to go ahead and I want this to be there, and I'm writing root there. Nothing's going to happen, of course. And let's say I'm going to work with okay, so let's say you have to calculate mean and you have to calculate median, and let's have to calculate mode also. You can, for median, the formula is median, and then you can write vote, that is this, and then click on tab, enter, and you can see the median is 31. And then once we have mode, then you can always say MODE. There will be 3 types of mode. I always choose singular mode, and I'll go with, let's say, votes, and the mode is actually 0. The most number of times votes any particular restaurant is having the same number of votes is actually 0, right? Most occurrence. These are some of the formulas. The agenda of this lecture was to not teach you mean, median, and mode, but how to actually work around with named ranges and named cells. So I hope you like the video, and if you have any of the data set from any open source platform, you can download it and you can work around with that. Although you can find the same let's say Excel file in the description, you can download it and you can view it. If you have any doubts, you can always reach out to me. Thank you.